Hello everyone, my name is Fatima and welcome back to The Race Edit, and if you're new here, welcome to The Race Edit and welcome to a new video. This video is going to be a little bit different because I'm in the kitchen today in honor of the Brazilian Grand Prix, in honor of one of my favorite Grand Prix of the year and just one of my favorite countries that I just would love to go to one day. I am making none other than the Brazilian cheese bread, also known as pão de queijo. If I said that wrong, I'm so sorry to my Brazilians because I love you guys so much. And I wanted to go through this with you all, and also maybe we can go through some Formula One facts as well while we're making this wonderful, wonderful treat. Now, I'm trying to stay as authentic as I can, but there's going to be a point where you guys are going to be like, I don't think that's pretty authentic, but like, just bear with me here, okay? Just bear with me. I'm doing what I can with the stuff that I have. Now, let's just jump right into it. So, Brazilian cheese balls, I made them before. They're really, really wonderful. They're such a quick and easy and light snack to have. And for all my gluten-free people, they're also gluten-free as well because instead of flour, we use tapioca flour. So I'm just going to jump right into it, I guess. I have all my handy dandy ingredients with me. I have a big old block of Parmesan cheese that needs to get used. I'm also going to use some cheddar. I know that some recipes call for mozzarella, but I don't have that, so I'm going to use the cheddar that I have. And like I said, we have our tapioca flour as well. I use Bob's Red Mill because that's pretty much the only one that's ever in stores. And I like Bob's Red Mill. It's a good brand. And now this is the part where you're going to be like, this doesn't make any sense, Fatima. But I'm using a plant-based milk, so I'm using Next milk because I don't drink milk. I know I'm having cheese, right? But I haven't drank actual dairy milk in a very long time. And this is the next best thing, literally, Next milk. And we're going to be using that. And then I have, of course, my eggs, which I didn't pull out of the fridge, and water. And that's pretty much it. Oh, oil and salt as well. So the first thing I need to do is boil the milk, water, and oil mixture. So let's just get right into that. Also, I'm so silly. I can't find my liquid measuring cup, so I'm going to be using a regular one for the liquids. So bear with me here. Now, the recipe calls for half a cup of water, so we're going to do that with my non-liquid measuring cup, so bear with me. Okay, I've got my water, putting it in. Then it also calls for 1 cup and a fourth of milk. Got my 1 cup. Let's add the milk. Oh, I didn't open this. It's a new one. I promise you guys, like if you're not if you're not a plant-based person or whatever, Next milk actually, I don't want to spill this, so let me be quiet. What I was trying to say is, I'm so close to the camera. Okay, so I have my milk, it's going in. And I promise you guys, if you're not a plant-based person at all, Next milk actually tastes just like milk from what I can remember. And I tested out the theory. I think I made my dad try it before, and he's the biggest hater, and he watches my videos. I promise you that means a good thing, not a bad thing. Love you. But he didn't like it, but he could agree that it did taste pretty close to dairy. I don't even know if he'll remember this, but you know, if my dad agrees, then I'll give him, then I feel like they're doing something right? Alrighty, where's my 1/4? There it is. Like I said, being a hater is not a bad thing all the time. And then the recipe calls for some oil. I'm going to just use, I think canola oil is what I have. Canola oil. So we are going to use, allegedly, 6 tablespoons of oil. So that's what we gotta do. Ooh, nice. Tablespoons, not teaspoons, right? Yep, tablespoons. I'm so close to the camera, oh my gosh. 2, that's crazy. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And now I've got to let that come to a boil, this mixture, so let's go do that. I'm putting it on semi-high. I don't know if you can hear me. So while that boils over, we are going to move on to the next step. I'm just going to move my other stuff over, so 1 minute. What's so funny about this is I've actually made a video before where I did cook in the kitchen and I completely like removed it and hid it. I can't remember if I brought it back. If I did, you can probably find it deep in my channel somewhere, but there is a video out there of baby Fatima back when I first started this channel, in the kitchen trying out something that definitely didn't work. So, you know, funny that we're back in the kitchen again, but this time I feel more confident and I have a better camera and not a phone, so life is good. Yeah. I'm going to use this bowl. It says to add the tapioca flour in, so once I add the tapioca flour in and once the milk mixture boils over, we're going to mix. I do have a stand mixer, but I just don't like using it. I'd prefer for most things, if it's not like dough, like actual yeasty bread, to just mix it with my own hands, build some muscle, you know. But we do need 4 cups of tapioca flour, so bear with me. So I just rinsed my measuring cup and let's go. The only issue with like other flours like that aren't wheat flour is, you know, when you can buy like a big old bulk bag of wheat flour, but you can't really do that with the other ones, at least not where I live. I've never seen a large bag of like tapioca flour or like, I use other flours and I can't remember the name of any of them, but that's cool. I'm just gonna pour over like this. How many, do I even have enough for 4 cups? Now that I think about it. Shoot, I didn't think this through. I'm gonna use a spoon. Instead of making a mess. Work smarter, not harder. Oh, I love the look of tapioca flour. It's just so, oh my gosh. I don't know what that says about me. I'm so excited for these cheese balls. Like, you guys actually don't understand. I haven't made them in a long time. Like I said, I made them before and they were so good. And I don't remember why I didn't make them again. Like, it's a quick and easy thing to make. And like something that pretty much everyone likes, because who doesn't like a cheese ball? And it works out because half of my family is also gluten-free. Well, it feels like half of my family is gluten-free. So that's not causing a mess. Even if one person doesn't have gluten, it already changes like how you navigate like when you're making family meals. So it's nice when there's little things like this that everyone can have and you don't have to worry about that, which is what I love. I should be wearing an apron, shouldn't I? Well, it's too late now. Okay. Oh no, it's boiling over. Well. That happened. Let's go clean up my mess. I gotta open the window because now my kitchen is all smoky, and also I just got a notification. I did not realize the sprint was starting at 10 a.m. Oh boy, I gotta hurry. Anyway, so I was working on my final cup before everything went crazy. Do you know you have 30 minutes? Me trying to, literally 30 minutes because the race is starting, the sprint, Brazil. Wow, look at that, 4 cups of tapioca flour and my tapioca flour is donezo. Woohoo! Fatima, you are so messy for literally no reason. I forgot to add the salt, but that's okay because I'm doing it now. I don't think that's going to change anything. Okay, and now it's time to get mixing. I have the messy boiled over milk mixture. I'm going to do a little bit at a time though because I don't trust myself. I need an apron. Okay, I got something on. Yep, need the apron for sure. I don't have like the whisk that I like to use typically, so I'm working with something that I don't like. There we go. Now we're talking. Oh, it's thickums. I'll show you guys in a minute. I found my whisk. I found the whisk that I like. It's broken kind of, but that's okay because I would take it over whatever this is right now any day. I don't like this one. I used to bake a lot, especially, I think everyone was baking in 2020, but like 2020 to 2022, I was baking. I was in here. It's like I forgot all my skills. Oh my gosh, I already feel better. So this is what it looks like. Can you guys see it? Nice and sticky. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is incorporate the eggs. So egg 1, egg 2. Let's go. I literally have like 15 minutes, okay, 20 minutes before the sprint race starts. So now I'm working against time. Great. I did not plan this out right. Let's get into it. Come on. Egg 1 is nice and thoroughly mixed in. Let's get into egg number 2. Okay. Anyway, like I said, to all the Brazilians, please don't judge me. I love you guys so much, and I just want to do you guys well. That's interesting. The only issue is now my dough is liquidy, so I'm gonna have to add more tapioca flour. But first, let me add the cheese, and hopefully things will be okay. Fingers crossed. One thing about me is I absolutely hate grating cheese. If I can avoid it, I will. I do the, you know, not the grater, when you put it in the, what's it called again? Oh my gosh, when you're blending things. Yeah, the blender version. I would rather do that than actually have to grate cheese. That was just always my task during the holidays. It was like, Fatima, grate the cheese. I'm like, I don't want to grate the cheese though. I know, who am I? Okay, I think this is our little cheese mixture. I'm gonna mix it in a little bit by a little bit. Now my only thing is it's a little bit too liquidy, so I'm gonna add the last remaining bit of tapioca flour, and hopefully that should help, but I don't have enough tapioca flour, so I'm really crossing my fingers here that things will be well. Because what I'm gonna do is so it is still liquidy, but I have an idea and I hope it goes my way. Okay, so I have just preheated my oven to 400. I will bake them for 15 minutes. The recipe calls to put them on a baking tray. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna use like a cupcake or a muffin tray instead, just because my thing is still a bit too liquidy for my liking, and I don't want it to just like completely obliterate. I do think it'll be okay, hopefully, but we're gonna use a muffin pan tray thing instead. I've got about 10 minutes until the race. Let's see how well I do, guys. What I'm doing is I'm just oiling for the muffin tray. Ooh, that's a lot. When I say oiling, I'm using margarine. I don't want it to get too sticky. Now I know that these balls are not supposed to be like the largest, but because of how large my muffin tray is, I guess we're having a big old snack instead. I hate when that happens when a recipe calls for a specific number of things and then you do it and then it gets a bit wonky and you have to science it out, because as we know, baking is a science. So she's a mess, but she's my mess, and I'm gonna put her in the oven in one quick moment. I just have a little extra, so I'm going to grab my mini muffin pan and put the rest in there. Okay, so I'll wait for the oven to preheat, which is almost done. And while it's cooking up in the oven, let's go over some fun little Brazilian Grand Prix facts. As we know, the sprint race is on right now, so I'm also watching it on the side. So if I'm like this, you know there's something going on. Now, well, there goes the oven. Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna set my timer for 15 minutes. So, what do we want to know about the Brazilian Grand Prix? One, who has the most pole positions? The most pole position actually goes to a couple of drivers, so I don't even think that's an actual fun fact, because we have Schumacher, we have Hamilton, Hakkinen, Senna, Rubens, Barrichello, and Felipe Massa, and they all have 3. So, is that who has the most pole positions, or is it just, you know, right? And then we have the most wins of the Brazilian Grand Prix is none other than Alain Prost. The Brazilian Grand Prix, what's so fun about it is it has decided championships. As we know, we've seen Lewis Hamilton clinch his title at the Brazilian Grand Prix. We've seen Jenson Button clinch his title at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Who else have we seen clinch their title at the Brazilian Grand Prix? I'm pretty sure we've seen Kimi Räikkönen as well. Of course, Fernando Alonso. So, you know, it's an exciting place. And it has a lot of history when it comes to the WDC. So it's the Brazilian Grand Prix. You can't hate it. You really can't. I love the Brazilian Grand Prix. You love the Brazilian Grand Prix. And of course, Lewis Hamilton is an honorary citizen of Brazil. He was given that in 2022, if I'm correct. And today he's going to be driving Senna's McLaren, which is a very exciting thing for everyone to witness. It's so cool seeing drivers just drive historic cars. Like, we don't get it that often. So when we do see it, it's a big fanfare, let's be honest. And for Hamilton to be driving Senna's car in Brazil, like, that's a big deal. That's a pretty big deal. And of course, we've seen some Brazilians who have won the Brazilian Grand Prix, such as Senna, Piquet, Massa, Emerson Fittipaldi. Like, it's an exciting place to be. Brazil is Brazil. I don't know anyone who doesn't like Brazil, let's be honest. And I'm gonna put that on pause now because the sprint is starting and your girl's gotta watch it. right, everyone? And they're done. Let's see if I can get a better camera angle. I stole one of the other ones earlier because I was impatient. And you know, not bad. Ooh, hot. Not bad for my second time making them. I know where I made mistakes. And I know how to rectify it. But, pad de queijo. Very yummy. And that's all I have for you today. If you guys did like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one because I have a sprint to go finish. McLaren still have not, at this point, swapped Oscar and Norris. They are going to plan A. I don't know. Anyway, we'll find out soon enough. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!